Hello and welcome. In this video we'll be taking a look at the Community J-10A Vigorous Dragon, or Firebird as it's known in the top right hand corner there. Now anybody that knows about the previous versions of the J-10A mod for DCS will know it was a Flaming Cliffs 3 mod, no real in-depth as you would expect with anything Flaming Cliffs 3. This J-10A has quite a big difference. I was given a heads up by Whiskey Actual, a developer on Discord, who's mainly been working on the Community J-39 Gripen mod that is currently in development, and this is a side project of his and a couple of other people. So he asked me to have a look at it, so I did, and this is my review basically. So I'm just going to drag this across, and this is what it is on the download page. So as you can see, it says that the previous version, the Flaming Cliffs 3 mod, they've taken that on from the previous developer, Happy Cabin, and have merged it with the JF17 module by Decker Ironworks Simulations. They're going to call it early access, as would make sense as it is early access, and you can see they're going to continue working on it. And the developers, Whiskey Actual, Yahtzee and Snow Wolf, and then with the special thanks from Current Hill, CDP, Cobra, Firebird and the SU30 team. So these are the features. Obviously it's not just a Jeff with a J-10A coat on. So it's got new exterior textures, updated animations, canards, leading edges, flaps, new cockpit textures to match the J-10A, new HUD graphics to match what is seen in accessible pictures or videos of the J-10A, new night light mode so you can use your night vision goggles, and this is based on public pictures. There's a work in progress Mandarin cockpit, the flight model modification using a special pod to have different feel from the base Jeff. You can air to air refuel. It's got an authentic weapons loadout with past, current and future weapons which the PLAF use. So you've got the PLA8, which is the license built Python 3 passive infrared homing seeker. Then you've got the updated B variant, which is built with 100% domestic Chinese components. You've got the PL10, which is advanced infrared seeker, multi-element imaging seeker head. PL11, which is the semi-active radar and license built Aspide missile from Italy. You've got the PL12, which is just active radar BVR missile. The PL15, active electronically scanned array seeker for BVR. You've got the YJ-83K, which is an anti-ship cruise missile. The 253, which is a 250 kilogram low drag general purpose bomb. You've got the YJ-91, which is an air-to-surface cruise missile. Then you've got the JG-500, which is the 500 kilogram laser-guided bomb. And then you've got the B variant, which is a slightly updated version of the previous. Now, known bugs, I've clicked on this link. There isn't any on the list at the moment. Installation, I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then the frequently asked questions. Do you need the Jeff module? Yes. So if you don't own the Jeff module, unfortunately you won't be able to use this module. Do we plan to make a standalone? No. Do we plan to have a B model and a C model? Yes, possibly in the future. And then will the J-10A mod pass integrity check? Unfortunately, no. So with that, let's get rid of this. Let's show you how to install it. So to use this mod, I would suggest using a mod enabler such as OVGME or JSGME. JSGME is what I use. I've got it here. And as you can see, all the mods that I use are activated on this side. Anything that's deactivated is this side. Now when setting this up, I set up so that I had a folder in the core DCS folder. So it's got its own hard drive here. So if I go into here and go down, I've named it external mods. And if we double click that, you'll see that everything in here is on here. And this is basically where we're going to install our J-10A mod. I've already got it in there, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. So if you click on the link that I've provided in the description to download the J-10A, and go to your download folder, you'll need to unzip or unrar onto your desktop. Let that do its bit. Okay, and then double click that and you'll have this inside. This is the folder that you'll drag into your whatever you name the folder for your mod enabler, and inside that is core mods and mods, but the mod enabler will do all of that work for you. So basically you drag that into your external mods folder, and then once you refresh this and boot it back up again, community J-10A will be in the inactive side. So that's currently laying dormant in my folder. Now to activate it, just click on that, click it across, and it's now active in my simulator. So now that it's active, I'm going to load up the simulator and yeah, show you the configuration page. Now one thing to note before we continue is that if you do enable the J-10A mod, you lose the ability to use the Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And that's simply because it takes its place basically. You still get the AI, but you don't get the playable one. So it hopefully they'll be able to go down the route that IDF projects have done with their F-16 Suffer, where you can still use the F-16I and still use the Eagle Dynamics F-16. Whether that's going to be achievable by the development team, I don't know, but maybe that's something to explore, because it would be a shame to lose the Jeff if you want to use the J-10, and also be a shame to lose the J-10 if you want to use the Jeff. But swings and roundabouts, you know. So yeah, there is that to point out before we continue. So if we get into the configuration page, okay, and zoom out a little bit, there are a couple of bugs in the paint scheme sort of menu, where Splinter Camo obviously is not showing Splinter Camo. These are obviously for the JF-17, but there are other liveries that are available on here, and that this probably being the best one of the lot. You can use this one, which is slightly grubbier, but I do like the plan version of it. So yeah, let's get into the configuration. So you can remove the drag chute, nothing new there. So on pylons 1 and 7 is the PLA 8B, and you can also have your smoke pods. 6 and 2, you can have air-to-air missiles, your PL-12s. You can have a rail with 2 times PL-12s, and obviously the option for the PL-8B. Air-to-ground missiles, GB6 in all variants, and the YJ-91. Bombs, you've got the 253, you've got 250 kilogram cluster bomb, JG500 and the B, MER2 with 250 kilogram GP bombs, and then you've got the anti-runway bombs, one of which you can have dual of. On the pods, we can have data link pod, smoke generators, and the WMD7 targeting pod. Rockets, BRM-1 90mm laser guided rockets, or the UG 90mm unguided rockets. On pylons 5 and 3, we can have air to ground, so we've got GB6s in all guises. Bombs, again 253s, 250 kilogram cluster bombs, the JG500s, both variants, MER2 with 250 kilogram GP bombs, and the anti-runway bomb. Fuel tanks, so you can have 1,100 litre tank, you can have it as empty, you can have the wing tank and centre tank, or you can just have the 800 litre tank or in empty. Rockets, BRM-1s again, laser guided, and UG-90s unguided. And then on finally pylon 4, the centre pylon, bombs, you can have JG500 in both variants. Fuel tank, just the 800 litre, either full or empty. And pods, we get the data link pod, the KG600, which is a jamming pod, smoke generators of all different colours, and again the WMD7 targeting pod. So yeah, that's everything that is able to go onto the J-10A, and those are the liveries. I'm sure the bugs will be fixed later down the road, and more liveries will appear either with the mod or on Eagle Dynamics download page. But let's jump into the cockpit. Right, let's take a look around the office. As you can see, it's not too dissimilar to the Jeff cockpit. Surprisingly, the J-10A cockpit, from pictures that I've seen, are not too different to this at all. I mean, the only main difference between this and the J-10A is that these sections of the MFDs and this bit here are non-existent and seem to have steam gauges, but obviously that would take a lot of work, and that hasn't been done in this case, which can be forgiven, obviously. But looking around, colours have changed. Obviously we've got Mandarin here on both sides. The bang seat's got different colours all around, basically trying to match it as close as possible to the real J10. So yeah, they've done a good job of that. Obviously the HUD's got some different bits and pieces to it as well. So I mean, like I say, it's not too dissimilar to the Jeff cockpit, but enough to make it its own, basically. So let's have a look at externals. So having a look at the externals, it's quite a nice model. Nose wheel is slightly in the ground there. I'm sure that can be tweaked at some stage, but other than that, nothing really negative to write home about. All the control surfaces move quite nicely. Nose wheel steering activated. Get the air brakes out, and then the flaps control the leading edge slats there. So slightly different controls. Yeah, so it's not bad at all. Certainly looks the part, and a very good effort. So let's have a look at the ground handling, and then we'll take a look at what it's like to fly. So I'm currently on the apron at RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus, and going to make my way down to runway 10 to my left there. Just need to remember that the aircraft has a very narrow undercarriage, so keeping the taxi speed low is a must unless you want to tip the aircraft. So make sure the parking brake is off, which it is. We're going to set the nose wheel steering on, get rolling. So first thoughts on the ground handling. Doesn't understeer, doesn't oversteer, pretty much spot on. Done a very good job of that. I know that an issue with some of these mods is that the ground handling can be a bit touchy. One that springs to mind is the Typhoon, in which you've only got to touch the rudder pedals and the thing spins on its axis. And then there's others that don't really turn enough, but this one seems to be pretty good. So we'll make our way down, make sure that everything is still in the green before we go up, and we will make our way up to around about 10,000 feet, and we're going to do some aerobatics, see how the aircraft handles, bring it back down again. Okay, so make sure everything's good, no warnings on the annunciator panel there, oxygen's on, everything's green, everything looks good, everything's within parameters. Okay, so let's roll. Gear up, flaps up. And so far it's very sleek, very touchy, but not in a bad way. It's quite sensitive in the roll axis. Open the taps again, and up. Okay, and the pitch axis is very responsive as well. I'd say this is pretty good. I bet it'd be a pretty potent dogfighter. So one to have a bit of fun with your friends, or if anyone creates a server where integrity check's not an issue. Be a good online fighter. I mean, see what it's like in low speed. Get the flaps down. Still climbing. On the verge of a stall there. It's a bit more like it. 25 degrees. About 110 knots, 25 degrees nose up.
Speed.
That's pretty good low speed handling, to be fair.
Speed. Speed. Angle of attack. Speed.
Okay, let's bring it in for a landing. Air brakes out. Gear down, air brakes in, bring the leading edge flaps down, okay, right. Not one of my best lineups, but there we go. Right, throttle back. Let it glide. Down. Bit heavy. Drag chute out. Here I'm just firing off a PL8 Bravo up against an F-15, so I'll just let you watch that if you're interested. Hope you enjoy. And here I'm just showing you the night lighting for NVG mode. Well, now it's time to sum it up. What do I make of the Community J-10A Vigorous Dragon? Well, it's a very welcome accompaniment to the DCS family. It's agile, got a great loadout, and I mean, for those that fly the Jeff quite regularly, you'll fit into it just like a glove. It's very well done. Flight model is excellent. The liveries are okay. Not to take that away from the effort there, but once if it gains popularity, more liveries will pop up, and mind you, there's not too many colour variations that you can really go with the J10. So yeah, you've got the display team livery to go with that as well. So if you're into your aerobatics on servers that allow integrity check to be disregarded, then you can have some fun with that as well. It's yeah, I was very impressed with it. Fires off missiles okay. Its gun fires no problem at all. So yeah, delivering weaponry wasn't an issue in any way, shape or form. So yeah, I think I've waffled on long enough. But yeah, excellent work by the community guys there, especially as it was a side project. It's the closest we're going to get to a high fidelity J-10A for the time being. I mean, whether anyone will take that on somewhere down the line, who knows. But yeah, excellent stuff. And I'd like to thank Whiskey Actual again for giving me a heads up on the mod. It's a delight to fly, and yeah, if you've got this far, appreciate it. I'll end it here, so take care, and I will see you in the next one.